Good morning, students. Can you tell me what are the major religions of the world? Yes, they are Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. In the first chapter, we have already learned about Christianity and its rise in Europe. Now, we will start with the second lesson, Rise and Spread of Islam. Do you know who is the founder of Islam? Prophet Muhammad is the founder of Islam. Why he is known as Prophet? Because he is the messenger of Allah. Let us start with the lesson. The important points we are going to discuss today are pre-Islamic times, conditions in Saudi Arabia, Prophet Muhammad, spread of Islamic civilization, the Umayyads, the Abbasids, achievements of the Arabs. Now we will move into the new topic, pre-Islamic times, the conditions of Saudi Arabia. The people of Arabia were divided into a number of tribes which lived mainly on the breeding of livestock. So, various tribes were involved in wars over the possession of land over the pastures. These Arabs were not politically organized. Each tribe recognized the authority of its own tribal chief. There was no government to ensure law and order. Religion in pre-Islamic period was a mingling of polytheism, Judaism, and Christianity. During the first 600 years of Christian era, trade with other lands had become important and Arabs had taken to it. This enabled the Arabs to come in contact with the new ideas. In the 7th century, a new religion, Islam, arose in Arabia, which within a short period of time not only united the warring tribes but also led to the establishment of a big empire and the building of a civilization which in many respects was the finest civilization at the time. Now we'll learn about Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad, who propagated the religion, was born in Mecca about CE 570. The followers of Islam consider him as Allah's messenger. The word Islam means submission to the will of Allah. Followers of Allah are called Muslims or Muslims, a term which means people who give themselves to God. They worship only one God, Allah. Now we will learn about the early life of Muhammad. Until midlife, Prophet Muhammad lived the life of a prosperous trader. In CE 610, Muhammad had his spiritual experience and became a prophet. He called himself the messenger of the Supreme Being, Allah, whose message he had to spread. He preached against idol worship. Arabia at that time worshipped many gods and performed many rites and sacrifices. As they did not like Muhammad's teachings, he was forced to leave Mecca and moved to Medina in CE 622, known as the year of emigration as Hijrah. This became the first year of the Muslim calendar. In Medina, he became very popular, and by CE 632, the year of his death, he became the leader of almost the whole of Arabia. After his death, Abu Bakr became his successor and followed his policies. The successors of Prophet Muhammad were known as caliphs or caliphs, and they were both religious and political leaders. Now we will learn about the teachings of Muhammad. Muhammad's teachings were simple and they brought the Arab under a common political rule and united them. 5 pillars of Islam. A Muslim has 5 religious obligations called the 5 pillars. They are Shahad, that is confession of faith. A Muslim's most essential obligation is to repeat, there is no God but Allah, Muhammad is his prophet. And the second one is Salat, that is prayer. He must offer prayers or namaz 5 times every day and on Friday afternoons in a mosque. Third one is Zakat, that is alms giving. He must give alms to the poor as an offering to Allah and a religious act. And the next one is Zawm or Siyam, that is fasting. Muslim must keep fast from dawn to dusk during Ramadan, that is Ramzan, the 9th month of the lunar year. And the last one is Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca. Once in his lifetime, every Muslim who is financially and physically able who travel to Mecca, and this pilgrimage is called Hajj. The Muslim worship one God called Allah. They believe Allah stands alone as an absolute will and control all of men's actions. Their holy book is called the Quran or the Quran. Muslims believe that it was dictated to Muhammad by Allah through the angel Gabriel. Besides the 5 principles, Islam asks its followers to observe certain rules. First one, a Muslim should not worship an idol. Second one, he must not lend money on interest. And the third, he should lead a life of virtue and benevolence. Number 4, all Muslims must regard themselves as brothers and equals. Now we will learn about the spread of Islamic civilization. Muhammad's successors were known as caliphs or caliphs, and they were both spiritual and political leaders of Muslims. The caliphs who succeeded Muhammad were Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. Within a short period of just 1 century, the caliphs and their generals conquered Iran, Syria, Egypt, Central Asia, North Africa, and Spain. The rule of the first 4 caliphs ended by c. 660, and the power passed into the hands of the Umayyad dynasty of caliphs. Their capital was Damascus. Now we'll learn about the spread of Islamic civilization. The Umayyads were overthrown by Abbasids in c. 750. They made Baghdad their capital. The Abbasid caliphs ruled for 300 years. Their greatest ruler was Harun al-Rashid. The Turks later conquered Baghdad and the rule of the Arabs ended. The Turks dominated the Muslim world till the 15th century. The Ottoman Turks put an end to the Byzantine Empire in c. 1453 when they conquered Constantinople. The rule of the Ottoman caliphs ended in 1918. The Umayyads dynasty ruled from 661 CE to 750 CE with their capital at Damascus. They ruled over Spain, France, a part of Africa, Sindh, and Samarkand in Central Asia. The Abbasids. The Umayyad rule was replaced by Abbasids in 750 CE. Baghdad became their capital. Progress was made in the areas of art, literature, science, and trade. The most famous Abbasid ruler was Harun al-Rashid. The Arabian Nights depict the splendor and grandeur of his court. Achievements of the Arabs. The Arabs were good learners and assimilated the best elements of culture. They came in contact with Indian, Chinese, Greek, and Persian cultures. They enriched their knowledge of algebra, geometry, and astronomy as well. The most famous scientists and scholars were Ibn Sina, Muhammad al-Razi, and Omar Khayyam. Rubaiyat was written by Omar Khayyam. The art of calligraphy and new architectural features such as dome and minaret were introduced. So with this, we have completed this chapter. Thank you all of you.